They say language is power, and I used to believe I was powerless. I grew up in a small town where English was just another subject at school, a bunch of grammar rules and awkward dialogues from outdated textbooks. We memorized phrases like, "How do you do?" and "the pen is on the table," which had nothing to do with real life. I could pass an exam, but could I hold a conversation? Not a chance. I was terrified of saying something wrong, mispronouncing a word, or freezing mid-sentence. So I avoided speaking English at all. I told myself it wasn't important. I'd survive just fine. Then everything changed with a single email. Day 1. The lie that changed my life. It was a rainy afternoon, and my inbox lit up with a notification. International Internship Application. Last day to apply. It was for a company I'd admired for years. Modern, global, cutting edge. The only requirement, fluent English. My heart sank. I hesitated. Then something came over me. Maybe it was the rain. Maybe I was tired of letting fear hold me back. Maybe I just wanted to feel brave for once. So I applied, and I lied. I ticked the box that said fluent in English. When I hit submit, my hands were shaking. I had exactly 100 days until the interview process began. I had to turn that lie into truth. This is where the journey began, and where I discovered 5 secrets that changed how I learn everything. Secret number 1. Make your goal public, even if you're not ready. The next morning, I posted on Instagram. New challenge, fluent English in 100 days. Hold me accountable. I thought I'd delete it later, but the likes, comments, and encouragement came flooding in. Some friends laughed, others cheered me on. But now it was real. I had to commit. I printed a calendar and marked day 1. I stuck Post-its on my mirror that said things like, "Your accent is beautiful. You are becoming fluent. Speak boldly." Everywhere I looked, I was reminded of my goal. Day 7. The Whispering Dictionary. One week in, I hit a wall. I was watching YouTube videos, taking notes and repeating phrases, but it all felt robotic. I wasn't connecting with the words. That's when I stumbled upon something magical. While cleaning out my late uncle's attic, I found an old Oxford English dictionary. It was massive. Yellowed pages, frayed edges, the kind you see in old libraries, but it wasn't just a dictionary. Inside were his handwritten notes, tiny scribbles in the margins, slang, movie quotes, synonyms, funny insults, even little doodles, next to words like melancholy and defenestration. It was alive. From that day, I called it the Whispering Dictionary. Every morning I picked 5 words at random. But here's the trick. I had to use them in real life that day. If one word was serendipity, I'd find a way to tell someone, "It was pure serendipity that we met." If another was arduous, I'd say, "This homework is arduous. I need a snack." It became a game, a ritual, a way of weaving English into my soul. Secret number 2. Make vocabulary personal. I stopped memorizing. I started living words. I told my best friend she was magnificent. I called the food at school mediocre and described my dog as tenacious when he chased a butterfly for an hour. Words stick when they make you feel something. Day 20. Netflix, but not lazy. People told me to just watch movies in English. I did, but I got bored. I wasn't improving much, so I changed my strategy. I picked one show, Sherlock. Fast speech, British accent, complex vocabulary. At first, I used subtitles in my native language. Then, after one episode, I switched to English subtitles. This changed everything. Every time I didn't understand something, I paused, wrote it down, guessed what it meant from context, then looked it up. Then, most importantly, I repeated it out loud. Sometimes I paused every 10 seconds. Sometimes I said the lines with the actors. I became Sherlock. I mimicked his tone, his sarcasm, his confidence. I didn't just watch the show, I performed it. Secret number 3. Turn passive learning into performance. Learning is not enough. You must embody the language. Pretend you're an actor. Be a talk show host, a villain, a poet. Copy accents. Play with the rhythm. The brain learns best when the body joins in. Day 45. Mirror talks and rap battles. By now, I had learned hundreds of new words. I was understanding most shows, but I still wasn't confident speaking. So I made a new rule: 5 minutes a day of mirror English. I stood in front of the mirror and gave myself fake interviews. Tell me about yourself. What's your biggest weakness? What's your dream? At first I stuttered, forgot words, laughed at myself. Then I started freestyling. I rapped lyrics. I invented stories. I even recorded myself sometimes, then cringed and improved. Day by day, I got better. My pronunciation sharpened. My voice grew louder. I started believing the words I was saying. Secret number 4. Practice alone, before speaking in public. If you fear speaking English, start with yourself. The mirror doesn't judge, neither does your phone. Talk to them like they're your audience. Fake it until it feels normal. One day, it will be. Day 73. João from Brazil. I was ready to talk to a real person. So I joined a language exchange app and met João, an English learner from Brazil. He wanted to learn my native language, and I needed English. We set up a routine. 30 minutes in my language, 30 in English. But over time, we stopped switching. English became our shared space. We talked about food, our favorite songs, politics, anime, and even heartbreaks. We sent memes in English. We laughed at puns. We corrected each other's grammar. João didn't just teach me English. He taught me how to be myself in English. And that changed everything. Secret number 5. Learn through real friendship. Textbooks can teach you grammar. Only humans teach you emotion. Find someone to talk to regularly. Build trust. Share your thoughts. Learn the phrases that textbooks never include, like "it sucks" or "spill the tea." That's real fluency. Day 100. The interview, I put on my best shirt, sat at my desk, took a deep breath, Zoom call, camera on. The interviewer asked, "Can you tell me about a challenge you've overcome?" I smiled. I told her this exact story. Told her about the Whispering Dictionary, about Zhuang, about rap battles in the mirror, about turning fear into obsession, about becoming fluent in 100 days. She paused, smiled back. She said, "You speak English like you've been doing it for years." Epilogue. The real secret. Learning English isn't about being perfect. It's about being brave, consistent, and obsessed. It's about falling in love with the sound of the language, making mistakes with flair, and living the language, not just studying it. You want to know the biggest secret? You don't need years. You just need a reason. Now it's your turn. Grab a journal. Mark today as day 1. Talk to your mirror. Watch a show and act out scenes. Pick 5 new words today and use them. Find a Zhuang, and one day you'll tell your own story in flawless English.